Do you think we will have enough money to get Flacco? Yeah, of course. I don't think he's going to ask for a lot of money. I like Flacco, I like the idea of it, but I wouldn't force the issue of getting Flacco. I certainly would not. I wouldn't force the issue at all getting a backup quarterback. Get a guy for a vet minimum under $5 million, somewhere around there. You don't need to spend more than $5 million on a backup quarterback. And if Flacco turns out to be outside of our range, I'm totally fine with it. I guess we need to jump into the backup quarterback situation. Fournette Brian in the house. Let's just go ahead and do it. Infinite wants to talk about it, so does Papa J. He says Mac Jones. No, you cannot get quarterbacks that are Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins. You cannot get those quarterbacks because those quarterbacks are going to instantly become a conversation throughout the entire offseason. And especially if Brock Purdy's not signed. Did Kyle Shanahan bring in these guys to replace them? And then you're also going to hear, like during training camp, you got to play this guy. They're setting it up to trade Brock Purdy and to have Kirk Cousins be the quarterback. And that's all you're going to hear when it comes to Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and even Kirk Cousins. You cannot sign those guys. You have to sign bona fide backups or draft one. Tanner Mordecai is our second quarterback as of right now. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with Tanner Mordecai being our backup quarterback. We don't even have to pick up a backup quarterback at that point. I like Tanner Mordecai. He has a year under the system. I've heard nothing but great things about him. He's a chance to prove himself. But I wouldn't mind bringing in a vet for 1 year during the offseason to challenge Tanner Mordecai for that backup role. That I wouldn't mind seeing. But I wouldn't break the bank for a backup quarterback, especially when you are trying to sign Brock Purdy already to a massive contract. You're already putting too much money into a quarterback already, and you already invested in Tanner Mordecai for a year as well. I would possibly try to bring back Dobbs or even Brandon Allen as a backup under a vet minimum if you could. I can't imagine those two players demanding a lot of money, right? I'd much rather see those back than us break the bank for Joe Flacco. Dobbs is a quality backup. If we can get him back, that's cool. If not, oh well, exactly. I would like to have him back. I like his energy. He seems like a team player. He fights for yards. He fights for the W. He puts in the effort. I actually like Dobbs significantly more than Brandon Allen. I mean, significantly more. Fortnite's best backup QB, they should go after Carson Wentz, Tyler Taylor, Dobbs, or Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones could cause a controversy and probably will be more expensive than expected. I probably would say more than $5 million, and I don't want to spend more than $5 million on Daniel Jones. I got a feeling someone's going to bring in Daniel Jones. The Vikings might re-sign Daniel Jones just to bring in the competition for J.J. McCarthy, let Darnold walk, and then pay Daniel Jones like $10 million. Someone's going to give Daniel Jones $10 million. Watch, for sure. Dobbs, I can see coming in. Tyrod Taylor, he's a vet. I wouldn't mind bringing him. Carson Wentz, I do not want to see Carson Wentz. I really don't want to see Carson Wentz. I'm so fucking tired of Carson Wentz. That dude needs to retire. He needs to go. And when he played backup for the Kansas City Chiefs this previous year in Week 18, man, he was fucking atrocious. Carson Wentz played absolutely terrible. I think Carson Wentz would be the worst option on Tyrod Taylor, Dobbs, and Daniel Jones for sure. I would not pick up Carson Wentz. I'm not feeling Carson Wentz at all. Infinite says CJ Beathard reunion. Maybe as a camp body, I'd probably bring him in. I don't even think he's a quality backup. I actually don't think he's that good. I wouldn't even bring him in, to be honest with you. I just don't believe in him. I don't think he could do it. I just don't think he could do it. Dobbs was cheeks, fired Mordecai. I don't think Dobbs is that bad. Dobbs actually performed significantly better than Brandon Allen, in my opinion. I wouldn't say cheeks. We're talking about backup. But I do like the idea of firing up Mordecai and giving him an opportunity. But you cannot you need to bring in a vet, though. You have to bring in a vet that challenges Tanner Mordecai. You can't be like, okay, he had 1 year in the system. Let him just be our backup. You can't do that. You need to bring in a vet that can challenge him, even if it's not that good of one. Heck, if you're going to CJ Beathard, like Infinite says, I guess if you want to bring in CJ Beathard to challenge him, if you want to bring in Carson Wentz, Tyler Taylor, Dobbs, or Daniel Jones, a backup quarterback somewhere under $5 million to challenge him, Taylor or Heineke, anyone, you have to bring in a vet because you need to set a goalpost. You need to set a standard for the backup quarterback because at that point, Tanner Mordecai is not going to feel challenged. He's not going to feel forced to have to work for his job. And you need to do that. I'm all for Tanner Mordecai being fired up, but we got to bring in a vet to challenge him because he's not playing for Brock Purdy's job. He sure as hell won't be playing for Brock Purdy's job. So I do think that you need to bring in a vet. And if we bring in Joe Flacco, hopefully we get him for under $5 million. If we get him for $5 million exactly, then I'm fine with that. That's about closest I'll get to that. I don't think you should overspend for a quarterback that would just challenge Tanner Mordecai. Then you end up just cutting him. Kind of like with what's his name? I can't think of his name on top of my head. The guy we had, and then
We cut him. He made like $3 million off of us. And it was like $3 million cap hit. I don't want to see that. So if you pay $5 million, it's got to be someone solidified like Joe Flacco, who will most likely be QB2. Sign ex-Tennessee QB Tannehill. I like that idea. He's a good backup. I think he'd be a good backup situation. I don't know. Was he a backup this year on a team? I don't know. I don't think he was. Yeah, I do think he's a good backup. I don't think he's that bit of a problem. I don't think he's a starting quarterback. I don't think he would challenge Brock Purdy for the job. I don't think it would cause any controversy. So I'm all for Tannehill being picked up. That's a good idea, Michael. That's actually a pretty good one. I can't imagine him asking for a lot of money either, too. So